Welcome to OLevels Economics Unit 10 Price Changes. Prices in markets are never constant. They are always changing due to a variety of factors. For instance, the prices of food and vegetables often rise and fall each month depending on the seasons and weather. The prices of calculators have dropped over the years because of technological advancements, while housing prices in many countries continue to rise because demand is high and supply is limited. So, what exactly causes these price changes? The answer lies in the model of demand and supply. A change in market conditions can shift either the demand or the supply curve. When demand changes, it causes a change in price and a movement along the supply curve. If there is an increase in demand, perhaps because consumers have higher incomes, there's successful advertising, or the price of a substitute rises, the demand curve shifts rightward. At the original equilibrium price, the quantity demanded exceeds the quantity supplied, creating a shortage. This shortage pushes sellers to raise prices. The higher price encourages producers to supply more, leading to an extension in supply. Eventually, a new equilibrium is reached at a higher price and a higher quantity. In short, when demand increases, both price and quantity increase. On the other hand, if demand decreases, say because of lower incomes, a fall in the price of a substitute, or negative publicity, the demand curve shifts leftward. At the original equilibrium price, supply now exceeds demand, resulting in a surplus. Sellers then lower prices to clear their stock, which causes producers to supply less, leading to a contraction in supply. A new equilibrium is reached at a lower price and a lower quantity. Therefore, when demand decreases, both price and quantity fall. Now let's look at how changes in supply affect the market. When supply changes, it causes a change in price and a movement along the demand curve. If supply increases, because production costs fall, technology improves, or the government offers subsidies, the supply curve shifts rightward. At the original equilibrium price, supply exceeds demand, leading to a surplus. The surplus forces the price down, making the product more attractive to consumers. As a result, demand extends, and a new equilibrium is established with a lower price and higher quantity. In summary, an increase in supply leads to a fall in price and a rise in quantity. However, if supply decreases, perhaps due to higher production costs, bad weather, or new taxes, the supply curve shifts leftward. At the original price, demand exceeds supply, creating a shortage. The shortage pushes prices up, discouraging some consumers from buying. This leads to a contraction in demand. The new equilibrium occurs at a higher price and a lower quantity. So, when supply decreases, price rises while quantity falls. Sometimes, both demand and supply can change at the same time. When this happens, the final effect on equilibrium price and quantity depends on the direction and relative size of the shifts. For example, imagine that a health report encourages people to eat more apples, increasing demand, while perfect weather results in a record harvest, increasing supply. In this situation, the equilibrium quantity will definitely increase, but the change in price depends on which shift is stronger. If the increase in demand is greater than the increase in supply, price will rise because demand growth outweighs the additional supply. But if the increase in supply is greater than the increase in demand, price will fall because the extra supply dominates. The same logic applies in other combinations, such as when both decrease or when one increases while the other falls. The key is to analyze which curve shifts more and how strongly it affects the market equilibrium. In summary, an increase in demand will raise price and cause an extension in supply. A decrease in demand will lower price and cause a contraction in supply. An increase in supply will lower the price and cause an extension in demand. A decrease in supply will raise the price and cause a contraction in demand. An increase in supply will lower the price and cause an extension in demand. A decrease in supply will raise the price and cause a contraction in demand. Thanks for watching.